played. So I should have been playing football the whole time. So I'm sitting on the bench.
Well, fortunately, I played for 5 teams. It's not like I wanted to leave one.
Load management, OTA opt-outs, hamstrings being monitored. That's the NFL in 2026. Now, October 11th, 1992, Deion Sanders played an NFL game, got on a helicopter, and suited up for a MLB playoff game that same night. 2 sports, 1 day. When reporters asked him about it, he said he wished he could have hit better. But that's not even the crazy part. He's the only person in history to play in a Super Bowl and a World Series. 53 interceptions, 186 stolen bases, and the whole time, quarterbacks were avoiding half the field just to stay away from him. Deion Sanders happened once, and the league never made room for it again. Fort Myers, Florida, 1967. Parents split early. He bounced between houses in a neighborhood where the default plan, if you didn't have one, was to stay. Deion decided he was going to run. Track, baseball, football. North Fort Myers High School, 3 sports, and a speed that started drawing scouts before he fully understood what scouts were. But here's what most origin stories miss about him. The mouth came first. The talent just made it survivable. Before he was great, he was loud. And that's what people really couldn't forgive. Everyone told him the talk would catch up eventually. He made a decision. Primetime wasn't a persona he wore for cameras. It was armor, built deliberately to protect a kid who was never supposed to make it out. Florida State came calling. Bobby Bowden gave him a stage, a spotlight, and no ultimatum about choosing football and baseball. No forcing a choice. That mattered, because the choice would come up again and again. And every time it did, Deion was going to refuse to make it. At FSU, he became a 2-time unanimous All-American, won the Jim Thorpe Award, Best Defensive Back in college football. Then, he walked into the 1989 NFL Draft and told anyone who'd listen that he would not fall past the 5th pick. Teams passed on him because of the baseball. Scouts questioned whether a 2-sport guy could really be serious about one. The Atlanta Falcons took him 5th overall. That doubt? That dismissal? That's the wound. Every single thing Deion Sanders did for the next 14 NFL seasons was an answer to that question. The 1989 Falcons weren't good, which made what Deion was doing impossible to ignore.
A Gucci watch, a bunch of money, or gold.
He returned a punt 68 yards for a touchdown in his rookie year. Hit the hole, hit the gear, gone. NFL players just watched him. There was a moment early, one of those games where he picked off a pass, took it down the sideline, high-stepping the last 20 yards with a linebacker trailing and no chance. And the announcer just went quiet for a second, like he was trying to find the right words for something he hadn't seen before. Stop. Think about that for a second. This is a corner. Corners aren't supposed to do this. They cover their guy. That's the job. Deion didn't cover his guy. He erased him. By the early 90s, the league had a real problem. Offenses couldn't scheme around him. You could put your best receiver on his side. It didn't matter. Game plans changed based on which side Deion was on. Teams would just stop trying his side, stop testing him. He was making it 10-on-10 football while he stood over there by himself and dared anyone to come his way. While all of that was happening in football, the Pro Bowls, the All-Pros, the return touchdowns, Deion was in the Braves' outfield, stealing bases in the National League. 186 stolen bases, led the league in triples, hit .263 on pure speed and instinct. He wasn't a novelty. He was good. 2 sports, at the same time, at that level. Not as a stunt, as a competitor. The criticism didn't fade. It followed him. He won't tackle. He's a showboat. He's not committed. How can you be serious about football when you're running off to play baseball every summer? And there was a version of the story where those critics had a point. Sort of. Deion was selective about contact. Because his philosophy was simple, if you never give up the play, you never have to make the tackle. That gave people ammunition. and they used it constantly. Then came October 11th, 1992, the thing that crystallized everything. Deion played in the Falcons game that afternoon. After the game, he helicoptered to
Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh and suited up to play in the NLCS game against the Pirates.
Some people said it was the ultimate proof of what Deion was: electric, reckless, impossible, and insufficiently serious about anything to fully commit. What they missed: the commitment was total, just not narrow. Deion wasn't refusing to commit to football. He was refusing to accept the idea that football was all he was allowed to be. And that refusal had a cost. Teams wanted all of him. Contracts wanted all of him. The system was already changing. Pick one thing. Protect it. Don't risk it. That was the deal. Deion never signed it. 5 NFL teams, 4 MLB organizations, each move filed as more evidence that he was a mercenary, a brand, a showman who put himself first. What they couldn't argue with? He kept winning. Everywhere he went. Then San Francisco called in 1994, handed him a corner and a defense, and the league ran out of arguments. The 1994 San Francisco 49ers weren't just loaded. They were built to end arguments. Jerry Rice, Steve Young, Ricky Watters, dominant offensively. But they had something to prove defensively, and they knew it. They signed Deion Sanders. And then the NFL became, briefly, spectacularly unfair. 6 interceptions that season, 3 returned for touchdowns, 303 interception return yards in a single season at cornerback. Quarterbacks stopped looking his way by mid-season, not because a coach told them to, because they'd tried it once, and they'd watched the ball go the other direction with Deion already mid-stride. At Candlestick, he'd bounce on his toes before the snap, sleeves rolled, daring the quarterback to look his way. And the quarterbacks, seasoned Pro Bowl quarterbacks, would look and then look away. Let that sink in. You're an NFL quarterback. You've got a first-round wide receiver. You've got a play that works. And you don't throw it. Because of one man. He won the AP Defensive Player of the Year. He won Super Bowl 29. Then you went to Dallas, won Super Bowl 30. Back-to-back championships. Different teams, same result. Same high step in the end zone. Same chain swinging. 8 Pro Bowls. 6 All-Pro selections. The numbers don't fully capture it because the numbers only show what happened when QBs were desperate enough to test him. They can't measure the plays that never happened. It didn't end dramatically. That's the part that gets lost. There was no single game, no catastrophic moment everyone remembers. It was more like a slow withdrawal, the body starting to negotiate terms that the mind refused to accept. Foot issues, time, age doing what age does even to the fastest man in the building. He stepped away at 33, and by 2001, he was out of the league. The reaction was somewhere between relief and disbelief. Relief from quarterbacks across the league. Disbelief from everyone who thought they had more years of this. Then came the quiet years. A brief stint in Washington that didn't feel like Deion. A career winding down whether he admitted it or not. And then the revisionism started. He was always about the brand. 2 Sports was a gimmick. Here's what they didn't say. The same sports world that doubted his commitment when he was young was now questioning his legacy because he'd been too good for too long at too many things. That's not a criticism, that's envy dressed up as analysis. In 2004, at 37 years old, Deion Sanders came back, signed with the Baltimore Ravens, played 9 games, got 3 interceptions, returned 1 for a touchdown. At 37. Most players at 37 are watching film from a couch. Primetime was still taking the ball the other way. The Hall of Fame came in 2011.
Into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Deion Sanders.
First ballot, of course. Standing in Canton, gold jacket on, under that summer sky. For a moment, the showmanship went somewhere else.
It taught me so much about timing. It taught me so much about focus, dedication.
He talked about Fort Myers, about the promises he'd made as a kid in places that weren't supposed to produce this. about the armor he'd built. Prime time, the high step, the chains, and what it was actually covering. The performance was never separate from the person. It was the person, built from scratch, deliberately, by a kid who understood that visibility was survival. And then, when everyone assumed the story was over, Deion went somewhere nobody expected. Jackson State, an HBCU, a program that hadn't been a national story in decades. He walked in as head coach in 2020, produced NFL draft picks, and made it must-watch television. Then Colorado called. He took it, brought Shadur, brought Travis Hunter, the five-star prospect who'd followed him from Jackson State, and turned Boulder into a weekly viral event. Coach Prime isn't a retirement act, it's a second career building its own gravity, and it reinforces the same thesis his playing career already proved, that his way, loud, confident, uncompromising, keeps working. But here's the real question. Could any of this happen today? Or would it get shut down before it even started? So, why will we never see an athlete like Deion Sanders again? It's not the talent. There are fast players, there are great corners. There will always be someone who tests the limits of what a human body can do on a football field. It's the conditions. Today's sports economy is built on specialization. You commit to one sport at 12, one position at 14, one skill set that gets refined and protected and monetized. The idea of a Pro Bowl cornerback spending summers stealing bases in the National League, a front office would never allow it. An agent would never allow it. The injury risk models alone would kill it before it started. A player like Deion only works in a certain kind of era, one where he can set his own terms and be good enough that nobody can stop him from doing it. By the late 90s, that era was already closing. The system stopped making room for it. Then there's the personality question. Could primetime survive today? In one sense, absolutely. He'd be viral every week, every presser, every walk from the tunnel. He understood the camera before social media existed. He'd own it now. But the scrutiny is different. The backlash is organized. The version of Deion that survived the 80s and 90s did so in a media environment that could only cover so much. Today, every high step would be a talking point by nightfall. Here's the final thing to sit with. 53 interceptions, 186 stolen bases, 2 Super Bowl rings, a World Series appearance, 14 NFL seasons, 8 Pro Bowls, a Hall of Fame jacket, and now a coaching career rewriting what a Power 5 program can look like. He didn't just play two sports, he dominated both. He didn't just build a brand, he built a philosophy that you could be great and loud and unapologetic and completely committed to winning, and that none of those things canceled each other out. Deion once said, "If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. If you play good, they pay good." That's not a sports quote, that's a worldview. Built in Fort Myers, refined at Florida State, proven in Atlanta, San Francisco, Dallas, and everywhere else. You can find the talent. You just won't find the freedom that built it. If you made it this far, you already know. There's never been another one like him. If you want more breakdowns of athletes who changed the game and the era that made them possible, subscribe. We drop these every week. And I want to know what you think. Better legacy when it's all over? Deion the player or Deion the coach? Drop it in the comments. I'll read every one. In the next video, we're going somewhere you won't expect. Stay close.